They say revenge is a dish best served cold. Mine arrived in silence 72 hours before the flood. 3 industrial-grade pumps and a forgotten aquifer. The HOA didn't think to check the soil beneath their dream homes. The first wave hit at sunrise, water spilled over driveways, drowned manicured lawns, and carried Adirondack chairs into the storm drains like paper boats. A woman in a monogrammed hoodie shouted, "Why is my kitchen underwater?" I smiled. Funny. That used to be my walnut grove. Let's back up. 6 years ago, I inherited 14 acres of wild California hillside from my grandfather. It wasn't glamorous, just golden grass, a few stubborn trees, and a spring-fed water table beneath developers had been eyeing it for decades. My granddad refused every offer. "Keep it raw. Keep it ours," he always said. I gave him my word. I was sketching plans for a small winery when a letter arrived. "Welcome to the Meadow Ridge. Homeowners Association. Please remit your $1,200 initiation fee and submit landscaping plans." At first, I thought it was junk mail. Then I drove out and nearly crashed. Instead of the open land, I knew there were 58 identical homes stretching into the horizon. Beige boxes, identical driveways, and fake stone facades that made my stomach turn. A guy in loafers and a Bluetooth headset was pacing outside what used to be my grandfather's old shed, now a clubhouse with a juice bar. He looked at me like I was trespassing. "Can I help you?" "Yeah," I said. "What the hell happened here?" That was the beginning. Turns out a bureaucratic error had rezoned a portion of my parcel years ago. A developer swooped in, got permits approved through the wrong office, and started building. Nobody checked the deed. Nobody notified me. You'd think a multi-million-dollar development would do its homework. You'd be wrong. I hired an attorney. They stalled. I filed a cease and desist. They fined me for unauthorized use of community property. That was cute. So I adapted, I attended their meetings, I brought cookies, I asked about fence heights and mailbox paint colors, smiled. And in the background I hired a hydrologist, because here's the thing, beneath that entire subdivision runs the same spring my grandfather once used to water his orchard. The developers built right on top without so much as a hydrological survey. No drainage, no redirection, no containment. Just poured foundations and hoped nature would behave. All I did was stop suppressing the natural water flow. Legally, I did nothing wrong. We drilled observation wells. We installed pumps. We let the water move exactly the way it used to. Before the land got smothered in concrete, I gave them 72 hours notice. Through my lawyer, they called it intimidation. I called it a courtesy. The first signs were damp garages, then basement mildew, then cracks in the sidewalks. Week 2, their insurance phones rang off the hook. Mold remediation crews showed up like clockwork. The HOA called an emergency session. It was streamed live. I watched from my porch with a glass of Syrah made from the first harvest on my still untouched western slope. In court, 2 weeks later, the HOA president said, "We believe this was deliberate sabotage." I nodded. Of course it was, and entirely within my rights. Can you say the same about your building permits? The judge didn't need long. One look at the original deed, the zoning error, the ignored notices, and my tax records, and the ruling was in every single house illegal construction. The kicker? They owed me back rent, $2,100 a month per house. For 26 months they appealed. Obviously, but you can't appeal gravity. Today the subdivision is a ghost town, half underwater, half bulldozed. The HOA disbanded, the Bluetooth guy. Last I heard he's managing a mattress store in Bakersfield. And me, I turned the land into a conservation space. Open trails, native plants, educational signage. At the former clubhouse site, there's a stone marker. It reads, "Here stood the HOA that mistook paperwork for ownership." I call it the return of the water.